Hey guys, how you all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today I have for you guys is another movie review. Today we're tackling Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Now I only laughed while saying that because I wanted to do 3 quick disclaimers before I get into this review. 1, I do think that Dora is hot in this movie. Like every dude, I think, does. I think she's very cute. 2nd, yes, I'm a grown-ass adult watching Dora. And 3, I have no regrets. Now, also, I do want to point out that I used to watch Dora the Explorer as a kid all the time. And when I mean kid, I don't mean like 7, 8 kid. I mean like 2 to 3 to 4 kid. So that was basically early child stuff, you know. And for everyone who has seen Dora now, and of course when I was born in 98, so around that time, if you have watched it during that time, it very much is a children's only show, right? I mean, so you watch something like SpongeBob, Ninjago, regular show, blah, blah, blah. Those are shows that are all ages. A kid can watch them, but also a teenager and adult can watch them as well, and I firmly believe that. However, Dora the Explorer is only for children, in my opinion. If you like it and you're 30, I don't care, whatever the hell it is. But I do think, me personally, that Dora the Explorer and Diego and all the other spin-offs, whatever, are for children only. So, I went into this movie, excited, because I'm like, oh, okay, Dora's pretty hot in this one, okay, so let's explore. And then the second one was, of course, kind of nervous because SpongeBob, Dora isn't necessarily a franchise that I hold dear to my heart. Again, I do have nostalgia for it, but it's an old nostalgia, you know what I mean? I started getting into more Diego when I got a little older, more than Dora, but you know what I mean. Dora is a show that when you're a child, it doesn't matter if it's a girl lead, you know? It's not, oh, girls have cooties at that point, you know? So it was still pretty cool. However, I was nervous because in the trailer, Boots didn't have any boots, so why is it called Boots? Also, where is Swiper? I know he was in that trailer, in the second trailer for like one shot. But then also we have like Aquaman's dad and Jango Fett, that guy, freaking playing some random dude who's like, hello Dora, that's it. And it's like, okay, sure. Hello Dora, that's fine, whatever. And then of course we also get this kind of like a, I don't know, the trailer made it look a little cheesy, a little corny. Now of course, this is a Nickelodeon movie, so the best that they've made is of course The Adventures of Tintin, which I regard as one of the best animated films of all time. The Adventures of Tintin is so freaking good, and that was a Nickelodeon movie. They also made Rango, which I'm going to be reviewing soon. Keep an eye out for that. Also, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie and the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, and of course they're doing It's a Wonderful Sponge, which is the 3rd SpongeBob film. But still, Nickelodeon's track record isn't amazing, especially when it comes to like the live-action scenes in SpongeBob 2, Sponge Out of Water. They're not really that good. And I know it's SpongeBob; it's supposed to be cheesy, so. Dora movie live action is not supposed to be cheesy. It's supposed to be, it's a real thing, you know, it's supposed to feel pretty authentic. And it does. So now that I have that out of the way, that those are my 3 reasons, and that I did used to watch Dora as a kid, and it was a very childish show, it helped you learn, whatever, this movie is a considerable step up. I mean, it is a more mature film. It's rated PG now. So, you know, don't expect any F words or blood or sex or, you know, anything like that. It's still a kid-friendly film. But comparing this movie to the original TV show, this is like NC-17 shit. I mean, it's crazy. And again, it is a kid-friendly film, but I will say this, that Dora and the Lost City of Gold is for all ages. I give it, I guess, my all ages approval type of thing, whatever. Again, knowing that the show is only for children, that's what I was worried. I'm like, well, as a 20-year-old like me, am I going to enjoy watching this movie? Am I going to laugh? Am I going to feel moved? Am I going to, you know, be on the edge of my seat? It's going to look good. And it does, and it really holds itself together. I mean, there are a few negatives, which I'll get to in a minute, but the positives are just the way it looks. I mean, the CGI is actually pretty good for a Nickelodeon movie. There are a few instances, which again, I'll get to in a minute, but the CGI really does look good, and the film is shot brilliantly. There's a lot of really good shots in here, wide shots and fadeaways, and the editing is actually really well done for this movie. There's a few scenes, especially there's a scene where all the kids are drowning in this jungle puzzle, as this one kid keeps calling it, and it was edited a little strange. That you had like a little shot of everyone in the water, and it was a lot about if I could talk. There was a lot of quick cuts, which it's a very nitpicky thing. All the way, the editing is amazing, though. I really have to say I enjoyed it a lot. Now, when it comes to the acting, it's a Nickelodeon movie, but in this type, it's a really good Nickelodeon movie. It's not like watching the Nick shows that are BS. It's not like the SpongeBob movies, which are supposed to be corny. And of course, Tintin and Rango, those are animated, so they don't count. Of course, those are good. Dora is very well acted. You have Michael Pena, who of course plays Luis in the Ant-Man films in the MCU, and of course Kai in the Lego Ninjago movie. Also, you have Isabella Moner, that's what I'm going to call it, or Moner, I think it's Moner. And she of course was in, what was the name of the movie? Shoot, I reviewed it on my channel. Instant Family, that's right. She was one of the main characters in that, which I didn't know, because I'm watching this and I'm like, man, you look really familiar. It was her from that movie, Instant Family. So, she's kind of like, I think Isabella Moner is kind of like a Taron Egerton or a Tom Holland. They're younger, and they're really good from like the first thing you see them in, and they just keep getting better. And Isabella Moner is great in Dora. In fact, she's a perfect Dora. Now, the movie actually begins with a very cool callback to the original show. I don't remember it a whole lot. It's not like I watched it in the past 18 years. However, you actually do, I do remember the theme song. I mean, everyone knows the theme song. And I'm not gonna sing it, but you know, you have the the theme song playing, and of course you have Dora as a young girl and Diego as a young kid, and you see the backpack and the map, and they're jungling and they're playing the thing, and the swipe or no swiping. It's perfect. It's a really great callback to the movie, and I think that's one of the strong suits is that there are callbacks to this film, or there are callbacks to the original show and the original source material. However, it doesn't go over the top and overboard with, nostalgia. So again, we start off with a really cool scene, and then it's really perfectly actually blends into Dora running as Isabella Moner, of course, like 16, 17-year-old Dora. A good Dora. But no, I'm kidding. Yeah, well, I'm not, but you know what I mean. So yeah, we get this really cool transition scene, and then of course she's running from a bunch of rhinos, and that's when the movie starts. Now, of course, the general plot of this movie, so we covered the CGI, which I'll get to back the bad parts in a minute, and of course the acting is great. I really love it. There was one, just going back to the acting for a second, there was one character, the taller girl. She didn't sell it for me that much. She wasn't a bad actor, she just seemed kind of bland compared to the other actors that were really good in the movie. That's what I have to say about that. Now, for the plot, of course, this is Dora and the Lost City of Gold. So, Dora, looking for a Lost City of Gold. But it's a lot more complex than that. You have, essentially, Dora adjusting to city life, going to school, she doesn't know what a school bus is. It's kind of like that scene from Wonder Woman, except actually funny and good. So you see her trying to adjust, kind of like Elf in a way too. You see her trying to adjust to new life, and of course she gets made fun of because all she knows is jungle stuff, so she's freaking bringing pickaxes and knives and flares and all this stuff. It's pretty funny. And it really makes for some genuine good, funny moments. And then of course we get the scene from the trailer where the guy goes, "Hello, Dora." And we don't really know much about him, just that he's evil, whatever. He kidnaps Dora and Diego and 3 other kids, nerdy kid, and 2 kids actually, and the girl. So, that's cool. And yeah, they just kind of get swept away, and of course the trailer leads them to perilous adventures and all that. And that's really what it is. They meet this tour guide dude who, spoiler alert, I'm not going to say what happens, but they meet their tour guide, and essentially goes from a bunch of cool actions, and really good action sequences, actually. And yeah, I get it, this is Dora the effing Explorer. We're not going to see any action sequences. But she hits a dude with a yo-yo, she has a knife, they say freaking, oh my god. It's pretty intense for a Dora thing, you got to admit. It's like making Thomas the Tank Engine PG-13 and he's smashing the shit out of trains and stuff. That's basically how it is. But no, I mean, honestly, the plot really has a lot of twists and turns, and it keeps you hooked. I mean, there are some genuine moments in here that are really, really funny. I mean, I laughed my butt off. Of course, there were a lot of children in the audience because, again, this is a kid-friendly film, but there were a lot of adults in the theater, too, some with their kids and some, like myself, by themselves trying to enjoy a cool movie that they remember when they were young. And, again, there were some really funny moments. Of course, there's a few fart jokes. Now, you know me about fart jokes. It can work and it can't work. This movie, it worked, I think. I think it was pretty funny. So, yeah, really funny moments. There's also some really, really funny edge-of-your-seat moments. Like there's, I think, 3 or 4 set pieces and that you're literally like, wow, or that guy pulled out a gun, or Dora did that, or, oh my god, she's a parkourist. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shocking moments in this movie, which is pretty cool. So lots of funny things happen, of course, and some pretty interesting stuff, too. It's kind of a mix of the original Dora with the callbacks, a mix of Tintin and Indiana Jones with the whole adventuring aspect, the action-y, parkour-ish of Uncharted and Tomb Raider, just of course not as extreme, and just the fact that it's a really fun adventure movie. I mean, I really did not expect this movie to be good. I thought it was going to be kiddie, look like crap, bad acting, blah, 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 and it really surprised me. I mean, you know how in 2014 when everyone said the Lego movie wasn't shit, and I'm like, you know what, that's duh. Lego, their motto is only the best is good enough. Of course, Now, I don't like everything Lego, but everything Lego is well made, at least. So I was like, duh, the Lego movie's good. But this is my Lego movie. I was like, wow, this is going to be poop. And then I come out of it and I'm like, wow, this was actually really good. So, again, if you are a little nervous that this movie is babyish, do not be. It has a lot of jokes and a lot of action scenes, a lot of really cool set pieces, and great acting, great CGI for the most part. It's a really good movie, I have to say, throughout. Lots of funny moments, lots of edge of your seat type things. Some twists toward the end. Very, very cool stuff, indeed. Now going back to the negatives, the CGI. The CGI is actually pretty good for a Nickelodeon movie. There's one scene in the beginning where Dora and Boots are jumping over this little, like, hole, and she's trying to jump over, like, here's a bridge, you know? And it's like, whee, jump over that kind of thing. And Dora jumps, and it looks like she's going to make it, but then, oh, she doesn't, and then she falls, and it's funny, but it looks like poop, because when she jumps, like, if you can see my fingers right here, she jumps like this, and then it like cuts to Boots, and Boots is like, oh crap, and then you see Dora, and she just kind of falls down like a board, like a wooden board, just right down, and that looked pretty bad to me. I mean, you have some shots in here that are effing gorgeous. I mean, when they see the Lost City of Gold in this huge area, I mean, yeah, you can tell it's a green screen, it's not perfect, like, you know, Marvel or anything like that for the most part, but it does look really good, and then you get the wood board moments, you know. You also get these scenes like, I don't know, there's a scene when, I can't really tell you, there's a spoiler event and some dude's hanging for lava, and you can clearly tell that it's like a really bad green screen. So again, it's not perfect. It does have to be a negative though. I can't say that the CGI is flawless, so that is a tiny negative. Other than that, there is a dance sequence in the end of this movie, which I was shocked at, because most kid movies, and I'm not talking all ages here, I'm talking just for kid movies, there's not a whole lot of them, but most of them do end with a dance sequence, just for no fucking reason. This movie has a dance sequence for a reason, which is great. There's a callback to Dora dancing at this one scene. You'll see it, of course, if you watch the movie. I'm not going to tell you. And then, of course, they call back to that. And it's actually, so surprisingly, like I said, it's a callback, so it wasn't cheap or corny or kiddie. You know, it worked. And also, I don't really like dance movies. You know, I'm not, you know, my most is like Disney and the Muppets. That's about it. However, this movie has some really good choreography with the dance moves. It was pretty cool. It makes you want to get out of your seat and dance, which I did not, just for the record, but it makes you want to. And then, of course, I don't know, so that was surprising, but really, I think the negatives would be the CGI, a few of the choreography, and maybe one or two of the actors, especially the taller girl, I don't remember her name, she wasn't that good. Diego was a little strange, too. At first, Diego kind of acted like a moron. Like, Dora is just really hot. No, I'm kidding. She is. But, you know, like, she's very optimistic and very, like a kid at heart. And then you get Diego, who's like this tall, you know, bean machine. Like, oh, you know, I can't treat you like a normal person because it's high school. And I'm like, okay, the high school trope. I went through high school. It wasn't that bad. Freshman year was kind of shit. But other than that, it was fine. So you get, you know, Diego acting like a turd for half the movie. And then you sort of like him. So I didn't like Diego at first. He really didn't have any emotion in him. Like, when he was acting, he just kind of had like a blank face. But he got better over time. So the acting isn't perfect, but for the most part, it was really good. Again, CGI was great. For the most part, there's a few things in there. Dance sequence in the end, it worked. And it had a lot of great action scenes. A lot of really cool, you know, set pieces, again, that'll make you on the edge of your seat. And, of course, comedy, too. The one thing I want to talk about, though, for CGI, before I end this and give this a final grade, is the characters like Boots and Swiper. Because, there's actually two things I want to say. Boots looks good. He did not look too good in the trailer. And I was like, where the hell was Boots? He does have boots, and they explain it in the movie. So, have a brain. Pay attention. And, also, Swiper. I did not think that Swiper would be a key part of this movie, but he actually works with the mercenaries that are trying to find the Lost City of Gold. So it really works. It's actually pretty cool that he's in there and it actually works. They go, Swiper, no swiping. And when she was a kid in the beginning montage, it worked. But now that she's a teenager, almost adult, Swiper's like, yeah, I ain't going to cut it anymore. So he kind of runs away. So I like the fact that the movie and the environments grew up with Dora as she grew up as well. It was kind of cool. Last thing I do want to mention is there's a scene when Dora gets high. I'm not kidding you. She gets pretty high. Basically, their tour guide hits something, and all these toxic flowers emit like a sort of scent, and they accidentally breathe it in. And Dora looks at Diego, and Diego has an animated head in the same animation vein, albeit it looks a little better from the original show. And then Dora had, and everyone goes and look, okay, I get this movie is kid friendly. But there's a scene, I'm not even kidding. There's a scene where two scorpions are banging, or mating, as Dora called it, which is true. You didn't see anything, of course, but it was a crude joke. And during this scene also where everyone gets animated, I don't really know why, but for some unknown reason, their tour guide just completely fucking strips. He's just like, oh, I'm done with this. And you actually see his bare butt run into grass. Now, you know, of course I'm a dude. I'm not going to be like, yay! You know, I'm straight. But at the same time, it's like, why? I get it. It's funny, and the kids laughed, and I laughed because I didn't expect that in a Dora movie. But jeez, man. Wow, that was like really unexpected. You know that scene from the Angry Birds movie where the dude's peeing? It's like that. It's like completely unexpected for a kid-friendly movie. And I know, this is not just for kids. And it was more of an adult joke, but it was like, wow, what the heck's going on? I was like, what? What? So anyway, as much as, you know, again, Dora was hot. That was the first thing that drove me. But also, this movie was really well made for a Nickelodeon film about Dora, a show made for, like, toddlers. It really was a great film. So, again, the CGI is not perfect, but I'm going to give Dora and the Lost City of Gold a B+. I really enjoyed it. I will be getting it on Blu-ray. And that's really weird for me to be saying, because I am a totally grown adult male who is watching a Dora movie. Now, of course, me watching a Lego movie is fine, right? Adults love Lego. It's normal. Adults watching Dora is not too normal. Excuse me. I keep messing my words up. Not too normal. So, to see... basically, I'll end with this. Let me just tell you this. If you are an adult or a teenager and you think that the Dora movie is for babies, it's not. You will love it. It's for all ages. I enjoyed it, and I will be unboxing on Blu-ray. It's weird, but I really did enjoy it. I had a great time watching it. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video.